Tell me why I have filmed this video 3, 4 different times and either part of it gets cut off, I'm not able to finish it, or something else happens. It's, I guess, not meant to be on the internet. I don't know. Here we are. Attempt number, I don't even know. We're reviewing Five Nights at Freddy's 2. We thought we had a video up about this before Christmas. But yeah, that wasn't the case. The video is not even like full. Like, I don't know what happened to the other half of it. I don't know. And I was sick during that time, and like it's been like half a month since this movie came out. But here we are. I enjoyed this movie. Keep in mind, I only know about the lore that is Five Nights at Freddy's through TikTok and what I have been told verbally. Other than that, or from like the first movie, or what I have Googled. Other than that, I have never played the games. I've seen the games be played. But yeah, I am merely a fan through the outside lens of this world. And I enjoyed the first movie. And the second movie, I was looking forward to it. Don't know why it came out in December. Like, that would have been a perfect Halloween movie, but alas. And I went to the midnight release with my brother, and I thought it was quite good. A thing that I see Five Nights at Freddy's do that is very interesting. It takes like it does these like scenes that you don't expect to happen and makes them a little bit like absurd, and like it takes you out of the element of you're watching this movie, and distracts you, and then when these things kill somebody or there's a jump scare, you are not prepared for it, because in all these movies aren't like super scary, but I think they do a good job at doing that. And by what I mean by that is, like in the first movie, the scene where they were building the fort and they were playing, like I was just like, are we watching the right movie? Like, I was aware I was watching Five Nights at Freddy's, but what I was seeing was quite different. And then when the murder scenes and stuff started happening, like I was much more like not unprepared, but like it was a little bit more shocking and jarring because I had been witnessing this whole completely different thing happen on screen. And I mean, I get it, they're kids. And it's essentially a kids movie. And but yeah, they're still creepy, and it's supposed to be kind of like funny and fun and scary, kind of whimsical, like, and I think it does a really good job at doing that. So in this movie, like when they were like out and about in the real world and people were just kind of interacting with them, like the absurd like reactions to them like being out in public, and people just kind of like, oh, it's a costume, oh, it's a science experiment, oh, it's this, oh, it's that, and like talking to them and everything, and these things have glowing eyes, and it's just kind of like, okay. um it really kind of like threw me for a loop. And then when we like were in that scene where Chica was killing the teacher, or Bonnie started like walking to the kitchen with the mom and was about to kill the mom, and I was just like, 5 seconds ago you were having a chat with the child, all was well. And I was just like, what are we doing here? So I think, yeah, I don't know if you catch my drift in that. I don't exactly, I mean, I think in one of the times I filmed it, I said it in a way that made more sense. But that's the best I got for right now. So that is something that it does that I I kind of enjoy and I find really interesting. Now, the scenes with Charlotte in the beginning, I think it did a great job at kind of like telling the story of Charlotte for the movie. Obviously, it's not the actual story of Charlotte. I think she like gets like killed in like an alley behind like the pizzeria, and then the puppet finds her because it's like has a tracker to track her and stuff, and that's when like the puppet gets possessed by her. Um, but in this case, like she gets stabbed trying to save a kid. I don't know if she tries to save a kid in the original. And falls into the trapdoor where the puppet is, and the puppet ends up coming up and like holding her and everything, and people see that she's dead. Um, but it did that great. And it was really interesting, even though it wasn't like the actual like what had happened. That being said, everything around that I think was a little weirdly done. The parents like reacting the way they did, it was just kind of like, bro, why? Like, I don't have any other words for it. And then like I understand why like the child was like against parents at the end, but like the fact that like it became this whole like we must kill all the parents, like I think it would have been cool if like she had tracked down like the original parents. I'm pretty sure they're still alive. And they were like all old and everything, and like with their grandchildren, and then like those things went to go like kill them. Like I think that would have been really cool. And added like another like element, but that is not what happened. Also like her dad being Afton's like co-partner, and like there's like no conversations, like he wasn't even in the beginning of the movie. I we weren't introduced to him until way later, and then it wasn't like confirmed until later that he was like his partner. um but in the beginning I'm just like, it was just Charlotte, like, and maybe like 5 seconds of Vanessa coming to like say like, hey, have a piece of cake, but like apparently they were best friends and it didn't even seem like it. And yeah, like there was nothing to show that the father like had anything to do with what was happening at the pizzeria, um, until later on. And so when later on, when the father was like, I was a neglectful father, this and this, that, I was like, okay, we weren't there, so yeah. But like also I kind of wanted to see you not be there. And then when like Vanessa and Charlotte were like interacting and talking, like they had a history, like, but I wanted to kind of see or feel more of that history in the beginning, and I just didn't. So I thought that that could have been done better. The scene with the withered animatronics, as far as I know, they are not supposed to be like prototypes that like live in the basement of the pizzeria. So them having like their like little cameo moment, and showing up for that like small amount of time, like I think that it could have been done differently. Like if those were like the ones that got burned in the original movie. Like, did they even get burned? I don't remember the end of the original movie, to be quite honest. Was there a fire? I really don't know. I don't remember. But when they went back and he was like, the brother was like, oh, there's like pieces of them here and over there. I'm like, did they explode? Like, what exactly happened? I think that would have been a cool opportunity to kind of like utilize that concept, but it wasn't. And yeah, but like the whole like scene at the pizzeria where they were kind of like making it the game, and like showing like little like Easter eggs of the game, and like them kind of like literally like you were playing the game, like I think that was really cool. And obviously like it was a very big hit with like the fans, because everyone in the theater was like cheering and having a great time. And there were certain things that I didn't understand until later when I was explained what had happened, like when Shadow Bonnie came out, and why uh the vent was shown, and like why the door was the way it was, or like things like that. Like I was like, oh, okay, like that makes sense now. Um, but and like the mask, like I already knew about the mask, and I thought that was a really like cool thing that they added. Like I honestly wanted that scene to like last longer because I think it really was a great scene for the movie. And I would have liked more time at the pizzeria, like interacting with what was there and everything. That being said, the things that were at the pizzeria didn't really do much. Balloon Boy like got his head and then that was it. Like Bro didn't do anything really. And I wanted more of the creepy little like marionettes coming around. I just felt like more things could have happened. But like things were happening more in like the outside world because they had gotten like released into the world and Charlotte was taking revenge and all that stuff and everything. Why she didn't stay in McKenna Grace's body for the entirety of the movie, I don't understand. I don't think they did a really good job explaining like how she possessed and why she possessed, and like I was talking about this with my brother in the car afterwards. I am familiar with like Ennard and like how like he came to be, and I thought that the whole McKenna Grace and like Charlotte thing, like that's what had happened. Like it was like the robotic thing going in her body. Like it looked like she was spasming robotically rather than just like being possessed. I don't know if that makes sense. Um, so why she ended up abandoning her, and like when she like left her body, like she was dead, like so I'm like something killed her in some way. um and then when she entered this little sister's body, like she didn't die. I was just like, okay, so what exactly is happening now? Like did you possess her just like in spirit, but then why did your like the part of like the puppet, like his head, like it was actually in Chica? Like, did you have to like kind of be there? But why did you like possess her in the first place? I don't know. Like, I think they just kind of wanted to make the sister more of like, as if she wasn't already, but like more important in the movie. To like the new lore of Five Nights at Freddy's that they're creating. I don't know. Um, And then, yeah, I was kind of like discussing it with my brother. I was like, they can't afford for her to die because she's like this new, like, I was trying to look at it from like a franchise point of view. Like, they can't afford to kill her. She's a fan favorite now. Um, but my brother was like disagreeing with that because it's Five Nights at Freddy's, and like I can understand that, because they did it in the games. But like at the same time, like these are movies now, and we would like to see more of the sister and everything. But it doesn't make sense why the puppet like didn't end up killing her. And then when she had like that one scene where she was like, I feel sick, like it made me even more inclined to think like she like something was inside of her. Like I don't know, I really don't know. That part didn't make sense to me at all. The part where the brother like literally was telling Vanessa like, I don't want to talk to you anymore, like no, after they just had like that moment where, well, she had that moment where it was like, I am with my family, um was kind of like it was expected, like no, not even expected, it was understandable but not expected. And so I thought that was really interesting because in the beginning he was like all for her, he was actually interested in her, he was trying to help her. Bro was like doing better in life, and his sister like psychologically was still like invested in these dead children, and wanted to go and see them and everything. And he, I think, should have paid more attention to that, but that's just me. And like that scene where again they are in the pizzeria, they are they're just having like their conversation about like the kids and what happened to them when she finally realizes like, oh, like their actual bodies, like the animatronics, like where are they? And I don't even know why. Again, they're in pieces. um he like brings up the topic of like heaven and maybe they've moved on and everything. And meanwhile, Afton is still chilling in the basement, like half dead. Like I expected these things to still be like wandering around the halls, like and stuff and everything. Like the fact they brought up the concept of heaven was just really weird for this movie. I think it was just kind of to like have it for children. I don't know, like honestly. Um and even like the idea of this series for children still kind of weirds me out. But alas, and then at the end when they moved on and they like saw the light and they like it didn't make sense to me. Like I was just kind of like, okay, like you couldn't have just been like, they moved on. Bye, see ya. Like I don't know. Why did we have to like emphasize the idea of heaven? And then the fact that like Chica was the like centralized character, and then when like the ghosts came out, like and it was like the children, we saw Freddy, I believe it was, but like we had seen Chica's like body like 5 seconds ago, so like people were thinking that was probably Chica if you hadn't like been paying attention or like you didn't know. Um, and it's like, no, that's somebody else. Like I don't know why like she was so attached to Chica, but okay. Um, and so like just things like that. I'm just kind of like, why are we doing this? But okay, I mean, like I was happy to see them come back. How do they put themselves back together? I don't know. But when he went and he's like, if you care about her, like please help me save her and everything, like I don't know what the ghost did. They reconfigured themselves. That's I don't know. I don't know. I also did not like Megan Fox as Chica's voice. I mean, I feel like she had the sass, but like I just kept hearing Megan Fox whenever I saw her talking, and I was just like, I knew. I think like there was a YouTuber that did one, like he does like reviews and like playthroughs of the games, and he was like Bonnie, and um apparently his voice was like chipmunkized, where it was made to be like a really squeaky and stuff. And so you couldn't really like tell that it was him, but it was obviously his voice, like because like he had said that like he was going to voice that person, but you just like really couldn't like identify it. Um, so I was just kind of like, we can recognize Megan Fox's voice, but we can't recognize his voice where it's like people are looking forward to hearing his voice more than Megan Fox probably. And then like Chica again was the essential like one of the main characters, so like she was always around. Like it was a good movie. I think there was just more things that I was like, why did this happen? Kind of like more in this movie than in the first movie, and I'm like saying that apart from like the ones where it just kind of like was taking you out of the moment to like scare you, like I had talked about in the beginning. Charlotte ended up getting possessed at the end, which I think will be really interesting. I don't think she's gonna live in the next movie. I think she's gonna die. Um, she's just like that's her story. Like people are expecting her to die at some point. It's not like the sister at all. And then like Charlotte is also sorry. This Vanessa is also like Elizabeth, and like she's like both characters, but she's also like Vanessa as in Vanny from like the latest is it the latest at this point? I don't know, like one of the newest Five Nights at Freddy's games, where she's like kind of possessed and being manipulated by Afton, and I think that's what they're trying to do here with Charlotte possessing her and stuff. But then they also had the scene with Baby earlier, and like Elizabeth was killed by Baby. So I don't know if like they did that to just kind of like confirm for the audience that that was her, which they didn't really need to do, or show that Baby is going to come out eventually. But then if Vanessa dies, I don't know how they're going to incorporate Baby. Um, I really don't know. But I think that in the next movie, she's just gonna, she's gonna pass in some way. She might have like this like moment of like redemption and then like die because I think at that one scene where before she gets possessed, like she like was so done with everything. I think she was going to um but then she got possessed. But like she literally like was like she cannot escape like the things that her father did and what became of her life and everything. And so like I don't see much of a future for her except for that. The brother, her brother Michael, um, I thought it was gonna be the little boy from the beginning, like before he was introduced as Michael, because now it's confusing and they didn't even say like, oh, this is Mike and this is Michael. That's kind of weird that they have the same names because Mike is supposed to be Michael, kind of, but then now they introduce Michael. Um, I just thought he was the little kid in the beginning because he didn't say anything or do anything, and bro was about to get killed by the giant yellow robot bunny, and no. And so yeah, so apparently it's her brother that like woke up Charlotte, and started the events of the second movie. And the brother was just like so done because he's like, this is another thing you didn't tell us about. And then like, you didn't tell us about Charlotte. And then we still have no idea what happened with Garrett, his brother. Like, it's a second movie already. Like, we need to know. Like, originally I thought he was going to be the puppet, but I guess not. Because they are doing things differently in the movies, obviously, than the lore of the books and the video games, which are different as well. So they're kind of taking a little bit of everything and making things new and doing their own things as well. Um, which can be a little confusing for fans, but also like a little exciting. And then stuff that they are keeping, it's like interesting to see, like, and like figure out. But yeah, I still don't know what happened to the brother. Who is he gonna possess? He has to possess something, right? It's like so expecting this scene where this giant animatronic is like gonna see like the brother and just be like, brother. It's just like I'm so ready for this scene. But yeah, in the end, they found Afton Springtrap, and we're gonna go apparently into the haunted house section of the lore. I This is the part where I know the least. I don't really know too much about like what happens in the haunted house or anything. I'm gonna have to ask questions and research. Um, but yeah, I don't know, like, and then who are they going to introduce, because we got that like flash of baby, like, is she going to be there, is Enner going to be there, like who is going to be there? I mean, because we're doing things a little differently. um why they didn't check to see if something was dead in the room, like if I were to smell that, I would be looking for like whatever is dead. Like, that's just me. Like, apart from being completely creeped out from this giant thing that like weighs a ton because it also has a body in it, and it's made of metal. Like, it reminds me of the things from Chuck E. Cheese. Like, I think that's like also like it would me I wouldn't I would be like running away terrified from these things. And so the fact like these children were just like talking to them, I just found it absurd. So yeah, apparently that's going to be our next movie, and that is like number 3 of the games. So they're kind of going in sequence, but what exactly they're going to do and incorporate, I have no clue. We kind of had some idea for the second one, and now the third one, we just have like only so much. I feel like, me not knowing fully what that game is about, and also because they changed a lot of things from what I heard in the second one. So I don't know. At the end, we got the little like, I guess it was like a voicemail of Charlotte's dad being killed by Charlotte in that moment, aka Vanessa. But like saying that she's gonna come for you next. So the puppet is coming back in some sense. I look forward to that. And all in all, like, even though I had questions for this movie, I I liked it. I thought it was just as good as the first one. Even with that, I really enjoyed it. I especially like the scene where Mangle is on top of Vanessa's car and like trying to kill her. Like, I think it was just the perfect scene for them. And like obviously like we've had like scenes of like things trying to kill people in horror movies in a car before, and it was very like reminiscent of that. But I think it being like Mangle and Five Nights at Freddy's was just like a really interesting take on it, and I thought it was probably the best scene in the whole entire movie for me. And Mangle is probably the character I know the least about, but I enjoyed the most in this movie just because of the creepiness of them compared to all the other characters um, that people did not find creepy in this movie. The children, especially. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I touched on all the points that I touched on before in the other times that I tried to record this. But if not, I did my best. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you all soon. Bye!